Welcome to the XFL One Piece podcast, the podcast where we don't talk about the XFL and we'll occasionally talk about One Piece. I'm Charlie, this is Sam.
Yay, I'm Sam.
So, this week, our main topic, and we're going to branch from there, is about the Washington Redskins considering a quarterback at number 2 overall and how that would fundamentally change the entire offseason.
Yeah, man. So, I don't know about you, my first assumption about this football team in general is that they'll always make the wrong decision. Even if it seems like the right one, it'll always be the wrong one because they're them, the Washington Redskins. So, I mean, here's the thing, like, it could be like Justin Herbert. Could you imagine? Like, we're going to draft, Jordan Love, 2nd overall. Would it surprise you? I mean,
later we're going to go into how we feel about all these quarterback prospects.
Okay.
Wait, so are you arguing that taking a quarterback is the wrong choice, or no matter what they do is the wrong choice, which was kind of your thesis last week?
The absolute latter. Because remember, we had every reason to believe they were going to be really good in 2019. And then Snyder
we had a good amount of reason. We didn't have every reason.
I mean, the NFC East was pretty much up for grabs.
Yeah.
And they fucked it so hard.
Yeah, they were bad.
Yeah. Yeah, it was not good. Yeah. All right, so go into the scenario.
Okay, so the main idea before this was that it was Joe Burrow was going to go 1st overall, yes, and Tua Tagovailoa was going to go 3rd, either to the Lions or the Lions trading back.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds minuscule that moving that Tua up 1 pick changes everything, but it goes from a team like the Redskins, who you thought didn't need a quarterback, suddenly entering that fold, completely domino effects, throws everything else out of balance. Because suddenly the 3rd pick loses all of its value. Mm-hmm. All the other quarterbacks get pushed way up. The Dolphins get screwed. And all these teams in the middle who need a quarterback are left in this kind of no man's land of how much value the litany of other guys have.
Oh, yeah. I'm kind of... The football fan in me, who's really skeptical of quarterbacks, is afraid that's going to happen, and every quarterback that doesn't deserve to be taken that high is going to be a top 10.
Just going to fly up. Yeah. It is very possible because in the original scenario, it seemed like, okay, it's going to be Burrow, then it's going to be Chase Young, then probably the Dolphins trade up to 3 and take Tua. Or if the Lions decide to take them and jump in, then they probably take either Herbert or Love at 5.
People are saying they're taking Okuda, though. The Lions are
the Lions are set on Okuda.
Sticking with Stafford, and everyone's getting pissed. How dare you think we're gonna trade Stafford?
That sounds very the Lions to me. So I do buy it, but I think
they're near the Washington Redskins level of incompetence. Just they are. Okay. Anyway.
Yeah, but so okay, let's run through the scenario. Say Burrow goes 1st, Tua goes 2nd. What happens?
So, my first question is, what happens to Dwayne Haskins? Is there a team that's interested in him, or is he going to stay at Washington and they're going to have him battle out? Okay, that's one thing.
I think they would trade him.
They would trade him, and what would they get for him? Let's say that they did it, that they still had him at the time they drafted Tua.
Well, do you think they would trade Haskins before the draft or during the draft? Because it definitely wouldn't be after the draft.
It would be smart, ASAP, to trade him if you're going to take Tua.
So don't do what the Cardinals did. Hold on to Josh Rosen
until
the 2nd day of the draft.
There are some things in sports that are gray area, but there are some things that are facts. That was factually fucking stupid of the Cardinals. Undeniably stupid move. Why would you wait to do that? Yeah. But anyway, it's not like that's above the Washington Redskins to do.
It's not.
Yeah, but it'd be smart to train him while he has the most value.
Which, that's where the Lions really come in here, because if they choose not to trade the 3rd pick, so with the 3rd pick, every team has the chance to move up and get the quarterback they want, no matter what, if they so choose to. And if you don't, you have absolutely no idea what's going to happen, who's going to be available, or how anything is going to fall. So Haskins, depending on the price, could be a nice security net option of, okay, screw it. We don't love Herbert or Love or Hurts that much. We'll trade a 2nd for Tua. or for Haskins, excuse me, and just be fine with that. And if you're like the Dolphins, say you do that, and you still have 3 first-round picks to spend on your shit show of a roster, that is arguably a much better option.
Yeah.
It's like...
Did they do the same thing with Rosen last year? That was kind of the idea behind it. The Dolphins like, hey, maybe Rosen's still good. Maybe...
Yeah, they took a flyer on Rosen. Okay, the problem with the Dolphins is they still have the worst roster in the entire NFL. And anyone they acquire should not start over Fitzpatrick. Which is why I think they should just draft a quarterback, sit him behind Fitzpatrick for the year, fix the offensive line, get a weapon or two, and then, like, year 2, bring out the new guy.
Okay. So this year is still, like, one of those waiting on being a real team years.
Yes.
Not in the tank year, but we're still, like, we're building, and then we're ready to explode.
Yeah. So if I was the Dolphins, okay, assuming top 4 picks are Burrow, Tua, Okudah, and the Giants take either a lineman or Isaiah Simmons. At 4, I would take a lineman and then hold out that one of your mid-first round picks still has... One of the quarterbacks should still be available.
Yeah.
I think of the top 5 guys at around like 17...
Oh, easy.
One of those 3 will be available. And I don't think... So say by that point, Herbert and Love are both gone. I don't think Hurts is substantially worse than them. And I think it's much better value to get a left tackle and Jalen Hurts than it is to use pick 4 on Herbert and whatever you can get at 17.
These tackles are really good. Like this
and
is really good.
And they will be gone. Class. They will not make it outside the top 10.
Yeah, and I just cannot speak highly enough about how much you fucking need them if you have a rookie quarterback. They will be bound to fail. If you don't
absolutely. That's still my point. Even if they do take one, they still should not start their rookie quarterback.
Jalen Hurts is... I mean, he definitely could use some time to learn and just wait behind Fitzpatrick. You couldn't, but yeah.
All right. Do you want to, before we continue, you want to give our quarterback grades?
Okay, sure. Okay.
All right. So let's start with the interesting one. Tua Tagovailoa, where do you fall? Final rating.
I mean, I don't have a rating, but I think he's great. I would say easy first round, top 10, easy. I mean, So I played a little Andrew Luck game with him. Okay, I'll explain it. So, Andrew Luck game, you pretend that all quarterbacks in the draft, but 2 of them are terrible, like 5th round picks at best. The only 2 that aren't that bad are Andrew Luck and the quarterback you're evaluating. So when I think of Tua, and like I played Andrew Luck game with him, it's a lot more like apparent that he does have a lower floor. There are serious risks with injuries. And there is like the stall. He does stare down his receivers. He has bad habits, but he can. Those things you can work out. You can kink out. He was an offensive like powerhouse at Alabama. He was like insanely good. He's absolutely worth the risk. Like there's no doubt about it. He's like really talented, really great arm, mobile. But the injury thing coming from an Eagles fan who knows that Mother Nature does not care and will tear down your entire team. Injuries are concerning. So. Tua, to me, is not without concern. But I still think the potential is really high. So high ceiling, low floor. Not as high as Kyler Murray's ceiling, though.
So to explain where I fall with him, I'll explain my rating system real quick. So for first-round players, I have number 1 overall, top 3, top 10, mid-first, late-first, and then second round. And pretty much anyone outside of a second-round pick is most likely not going to be a starting level NFL quarterback.
Yeah, you don't need to worry about that. Yeah.
So I fell top 10 pick level quarterback for Tua.
Oh, yeah.
Because Tua's big problem was he never read the field. And that was true for his first 2 years. And he's still not great at it, but he showed growth in his junior season. He goes through his reads more. He finds progression. He is possibly the most accurate quarterback prospect we've ever seen.
I've never seen a quarterback lead receivers as well as him.
Yeah.
Like, the big plays just happen with Tua.
Yeah. He has pinpoint accuracy. He's the kind of guy can't afford to miss on. There is a very real world where Tua kind of bombs out. He doesn't learn to work through his reads. And there is the concern that he had the best supporting cast maybe ever. Like, can you think of a quarterback who has ever had that good of offensive line, 4 first-round wide receivers, a slew of running backs? Like, there's a lot of plays when you watch, like, Tua tape where they're just, like, going through the system. He doesn't have to do anything. It's just, like, look, throw, check down. Yeah. Just slant. Jerry Jeudy goes 80 yards.
I mean, like, the only other quarterbacks I think of are Alabama quarterbacks that came before him.
Yeah.
A.J. McCarron, yeah.
He wasn't too often asked to do terribly difficult things, but when he was, he did them.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that Tua is definitely he's a few steps below Burrow, but he's a handful of steps above everyone else in this class. Mm-hmm. And I think I'm gonna get into my rant about how much more important situation is than how good the quarterbacks are. But if you're a team that is halfway competent, I think Tua is the right choice for you.
He's a difference maker. He's like, I can easily like see him like being a rookie quarterback where he's making rookie mistakes all throughout his rookie year. But the potential is like absolutely first round level for a quarterback. Like when you're taking a guy in the first round, you're like, it's a talent that you're not going to see very often. Like, that's kind of like your expectation there. Like you can't get this every year. So Tua, yeah, I've not seen a quarterback like Tua in like ever. You know, like he has just crazy good skills, really great accuracy, and again, like the big plays are just things that he can create.
All right, if Tua goes to the Redskins, what are your expectations for his career?
To fail massively. I mean, like RG3, I think was a better prospect.
Yes, RG3 was a better prospect.
RG3 is a better prospect.
All right, I'm going to defend the Washington Redskins and the RG3 fiasco. I think RG3 ruined his own career.
You think you ruined his own career?
Learn how to fucking slide. It's Colin Kaepernick came out 1 year later. I think it was the same year. And
yeah.
You know what's the difference? Kaepernick could slide. Like, you know what's the difference? Lamar Jackson can slide. They avoid hits. RG3 to this day refuses to ever do it. He destroyed his body. He couldn't throw anymore. Like, I admit the Redskins extra fucked him by making him play in that playoff game.
I haven't watched that game in such a long time. I remember just watching his like
it was brutal.
Oh god, okay.
But like he had a good system with the Shanahans. He had a solid line. He had receivers. There was a team there. And this year for the Redskins, they have fired everyone. Dan Snyder is a mildly hands-off owner. And
wasn't he behind the drafting of Dwayne Haskins?
He was, that's the thing. He loves Dwayne Haskins. So if they do take Tua, that is a clear sign that he's letting his front office do their job.
That's true.
And last year, so I've got the PFF offensive line rankings from last year.
Okay.
Washington, without Trent Williams, was 13th.
Okay.
So they have a solid offensive line.
They might lose Brandon Scherf from free agency, though. He's like their best guy.
I think they said they're going to franchise tag him.
Okay.
So he's safe.
Does it mean he stays?
It probably means he stays. Okay. Him and Trent Williams double holdout.
I refuse.
So add Ron Rivera, who's a very good coach.
Yes.
Who's proven, like, I was so skeptical of Cam Newton coming out of college. Like, I thought he was a good prospect, but he could also fail spectacularly. And Rivera did a good job. He always
Cam skills.
He built teams around his players.
Luke and Cam.
I think Washington, if Dan Snyder fucks off, is a actually really good situation for Tua to succeed. And I would expect him to.
He's still injury prone, and based on the Trent Williams scenario, we do kind of know with the whole Trent Williams thing, there is skepticism with how well they actually take care of their players if they have injuries. If Tua gets injured,
that's fair.
Are we like certain Tua is going to stay on the field? And I mean, we do know that they have talent. They're always going to have talent there, right? But like, this is an organization that more than enough times, you don't know what's going on with behind the scenes. You have reason to just distrust what they do. So we don't know what's going to happen in the future. But the reason that's like why I bring that up. I can assume that what's going to happen in the future is not bright for him. Because, like, also think about what he had in Alabama. He had speed, right? He had some serious speed. What if Dan Snyder just does not surround him with speed? What if he just does not care?
Yeah, that's not really Rivera's MO, so that is possible. Because just like Rivera did a good job of building around Cam, but he also kind of left him out to dry. Like they built a system that was good for Cam, but gave him no playmakers.
Yeah, they never gave him any playmakers. They got severed DJ Moore for his last year.
Yeah, like Kelvin Benjamin for 5 minutes. Like it's he had Greg Olsen. Yeah, but
and that was it.
That was
it.
And he won an MVP with that.
Yeah, it was a 1 year wonder. I mean, Cam was for like the most part of his career was like freaking unstoppable and excellent and like pretty much the guy that the offense rolled around.
Yeah,
like everything that they did revolved around Cam. So Ron Rivera could do a lot with like just one player.
Yeah. All right. So let's say Tua, the Redskins do take Chase Young and Tua falls to the Lions.
Okay.
So I think the Lions are the highest talent to losing team in the NFL. I don't know how they went 3-12. Matt Patricia's why, but like that team is not nearly that bad. But everyone's gonna get fired after this year and leave Tua just in no man's land.
It's not. Yeah. Like okay. Here's also the thing. You know that like the Tagovailoa family was like, we don't want to go to Detroit, so I don't think Tua's gonna want to be there in Detroit. But I'm not saying he's not gonna be there, but if everyone leaves and Tua's left out there dry, it's just got red flags all over it. It doesn't look like a good marriage at all.
All right, so we don't think that's happening.
I mean, it could happen, but it would be bad if it did.
Okay. All right, so let's say it's Burrow, then Tua, 1-2. Pick 3. Do the Lions keep the pick, or does someone trade up to take another quarterback?
I don't think any team. No. The Chargers, like, we don't know if they're going to get a free agent quarterback or not, but would the Chargers, seriously, what would they trade up to get Herbert?
I don't think anyone will trade enough to justify the Lions not taking Chase Young.
Okay.
That is my stance, so I think Chase Young will go third to Detroit.
Patricia's a defensive guy, too.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's just like, even, like, if you got off the 6th pick and, like, the Chargers' first round next year, I'd still just rather have Chase Young, like, if I'm being honest. Yeah.
There's not a Chase Young entering the draft next year.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah.
Unless you're, like, counting on the Chargers to be abysmal and you end up with the first pick and take Trevor Lawrence, it doesn't really...
Yeah, no team can count on getting Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
I mean, even the Dolphins this year tried to get first overall pick and failed.
Yeah, which means they'll definitely fail next year.
You won't get him. But so there are the Dolphins and the Chargers, both teams that need quarterbacks.
All right, so we're at pick 4, the Giants.
Mm-hmm.
So at this point, if you're the Dolphins, you're kind of sitting pretty, honestly, because you're guaranteed, if you want them, to get either Herbert or Love. And the Chargers, honestly, there's no reason for them to trade up because they know the Giants aren't going to take one of them. So does an outside team trade up to those picks?
You mean the Giants pick or the Chargers pick?
The Giants pick.
So I think the other team I'm thinking of is the Colts. They're the team that could use a quarterback, right?
Colts go from 13 up to 4.
Yeah. I would not think that they're afraid to do that. But I think they like Jordan Love, right? Like that's like the guy they're a little more cool about.
He makes the most sense on the Colts. I think that'll be a great marriage. All right, here's the important question: who is your third quarterback? We both agree Burrow 1, Tua 2. Yes. Who is third?
I honestly think after like doing a lot of like look at film, I do think my third is Herbert. I do. I know it's like he has better skills. I know.
My third is Jordan Love.
I knew you guys say that. God damn it. Jordan Love, I'm not as like I remember before I saw any like should we do our evaluation now or should we?
Yes.
Okay. When I saw Jordan Love, like just like his name being thrown out there, I was like, there's no fucking way a Utah State quarterback deserves this much hype. Like, there's no way there are this many quarterbacks that deserve this much hype every year. Then I saw on one side, I forget who it was, but they were like, he's got a marketable name. I was like, there's no fucking way you're drafting him on his name.
There were a lot of red flags. Like,
yeah. By the time I watched him play, I mean, like, I think like the LSU game was like the game for him that like put his name up there because he played really well against LSU.
He didn't play that well.
With these interceptions, you expect there to be some interceptions, but he had some really good deep throws, and for a guy from Utah State.
For a guy with an awful roster against the by a mile best team in the country, you couldn't have really asked for him to do much of anything. Yeah,
exactly. Not saying they weren't going to win that game, but like you look at some of the throws he made, I'm like, I can see, some good throws there. But like you once told me, I don't know if it was last week on the podcast or not, that he's sort of this year's Josh Allen.
Yes, and I stand by that.
Yeah, does he run as much as Josh Allen?
No.
That's the one thing
I
like Josh Allen for.
Here's my thing. I compared him to Josh Allen. I stand by that comparison. I like him more than Josh Allen because Josh Allen is the most physically impressive quarterback we have ever seen. Arm strength, speed, height, everything.
Besides Cam,
Yes. But Josh Allen was a terrible quarterback. He was not a good quarterback in any capacity in college. Jordan Love was a good college quarterback. Like,
good. Emphasize good, not great.
Good. But Jordan Love, he has a skill set that makes everything easier.
Just big hands, he's tall, and quick release.
He has that Patrick Mahomes flick wrist 50 yards downfield throw in his arsenal.
Okay.
He has that kind of arm strength. He can make those throws. He moves around the pocket, can create space for himself, and can get, like, he throws the ball so hard, everyone is always open. And he can, he has to fix his, like, footwork a bit and get his mechanics a bit more consistent. But when he's on point, he can put a dime 50 yards downfield in half a second.
Mm-hmm.
It really, like, I don't like the Mahomes comparisons, but he does kind of remind me of, like, a college Mahomes.
College Mahomes, okay. So if he goes to the Colts, do you trust him to develop him to his high ceiling?
With Frank Reich and a great offensive line, yes I think that's a great fit. And even if he's not ready immediately, you can start Brissett, yes.
No, but I think he's an upgrade over Jacoby Brissett. I think they like Jacoby Brissett multiple times held him down last year. So I think absolutely worth it if you want to improve a quarterback,
Jordan Love's ceiling is so high, and something I like to do before I like jump into like the deep film stuff is I like to watch a player's highlight reels, which because like the idea is like that's
the ceiling, right?
Well, that's like my idea. It's just like when they're doing their absolute best, making the crazy plays, are they actually doing anything impressive? Okay. Like, are the throws actually on target? Are they just open guys? How difficult are these throws they're making? Jordan Love's highlights, like him at his best, are insane. They are these pinpoint 40-yard downfield, just
like he's scrambling too, right?
Yes.
That's what I was seeing against LSU as best. So I was like, okay, I'm seeing why people are excited.
Yeah, he can make time, make plays. He can make any throw, and this is both. I think my favorite and least favorite thing about him is he is a fucking baller.
Okay.
He goes for it 100% of the time at all times. He's never not trying to make the big play or going for it. I don't think I've ever seen Jordan Love do a check down. Like, he's just going to huck that fucking ball, and he fully believes himself. And with his pretty terrible roster last year and a lot of deficits, he kind of had to do that a lot. And he needs to, like, deprogram himself from that. Because his junior year, he only threw 6 picks the entire season to 32 touchdowns. And I think he has it in him.
Okay, I just want to say one thing. There were so many checkdowns in the LSU game. I definitely saw him do a lot of checkdowns in that game. But I get it.
All right, did you see him do a checkdown that worked?
I mean, yeah.
Checkdown, tagged 4 yards behind the line of scrimmage immediately. Like.
Oh, no. There were some of those. There were some of the ones that worked. So, there were some serviceable checkdowns. There were also just like slant kind of things, like quick little hooks that are like 5-6 yard gain kind of things where like, okay, that's safe. Not so bad, but yeah, I know what you're saying. He is a guy who wants to go downfield and wants to make a big play. Yeah.
He is not afraid of anything. Good. He will go for it. I ended up with a 2nd round grade on him, which is he has a very low floor. He could, in the wrong situation, he is absolutely screwed.
Yeah, I mean, like, when I saw him, I just thought, like, he's a serviceable quarterback. His best attributes are that he's tall and he can, like, deliver. Like, he's more of a pocket passer than, like, a scrambler. I think that he really wants to, like, make things simple, for him.
But he can create time, which is more important.
He can create time. I did not see the high ceiling that you're talking about. I'm like, I see, like, the whole flick. Just because he can flick it, to me, doesn't, like... I mean, okay, I get the Mahomes comparison, but, like...
It's with no motion immediately... He can get a ball out, get it all the way down the field to anywhere. So he can make essentially any throw from any position, any body position, under duress. It doesn't matter. He's willing to stand in the pocket and just get the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you have the right system around him, he is, I think, other than Burrow, the highest potential quarterback in this draft.
That's like saying a lot because Tua and Herbert to me are like only interesting because they have high ceilings.
All right, talk about Herbert. He is my fourth quarterback.
All right, so Love and Herbert to me are like normally where I draw the line. I'm like, okay, there can't be this many good quarterbacks in the draft. They're like, I always accept there's got to be at least one or two first round quarterbacks easily, like on average every year. Like when he gets to 3 and 4, I'm thinking, okay, where's the overhype starting to set in here? Both Justin Herbert and Jordan Love have, like, serious work to do. Herbert, I think, has the most work to do because a lot of his game was throwing screen passes and RPO slants and quick outs.
That's true.
That's, like, he like, in terms of, like, the tools that he has, like, again, he's, like, in all senses, he's a freakish athlete. He's pretty big, 6'6". He runs really well for 6'6". That's really tough. And he's, like, he can be one of those guys who's, as he's being tackled, deliver a ball perfectly to like players. I've seen him do it. So he does have like actual quarterback talent. But the problem is, with Oregon, they use that quarterback talent to completely take the game out of his hands all the time and just put it in the hands of their playmakers, their skill guys. So I didn't really feel like Justin Herbert was, like really showing his talent. He wasn't reading the field. He wasn't like he had a quick read and it was supposed to go there the entire time. Like very rarely did he like make his own decisions. Like. So I feel like Justin Herbert is like one of these mega projects. Like he's not just a guy who has stuff to learn. We don't have any good reason to believe that he has any kind of ability to throw in the pocket. Right? He hardly ever did it. So I would love to know the stats on like how often he did it. But based on his tape, I'm like, this guy is just woefully unprepared for the NFL.
This is gonna be one of my themes, and it's growth. And my grade. So I graded Herbert last year because I thought he was going to come out, and I thought the Giants might take him. And my grade went down because I don't think he actually got any better from his junior year to his senior year.
His stats think he got worse.
I don't know if it's stats-wise, but it's just he struggles in two major areas, and that is inconsistent accuracy, and he doesn't read the field great. And those are two very bad things to
the NFL with.
Like he has a great arm. He is super athletic. He can make some big plays. He throws a beautiful back shoulder pass. Like he can do it 20 yards downfield, same way Love can. I think he's more accurate with it, honestly. And like I can like see it. I can see in the right scenario this guy being a Pro Bowl level quarterback.
What do you think? Like, if a team took him. And if it was like the Patriots, how would your perception of Herbert change? You would think they must have saw something really good in him, right? Like I could see in the right situation, I'm like, oh my god, now I'm sort of starting to see the guy he's going to become.
Yeah, but Herbert can't be a savior.
He hasn't shown that at all in college. That's kind of my criticism too. Yeah, he's not like the guy. He's a player who distributes the ball and he runs occasionally.
Yeah, and Oregon as a team was better. But he didn't really... Like, he was good. He was not... That defense and that offensive line, I think, were a lot more towards why that team was winning than anything Herbert was necessarily doing. And I fell also on a second-round grade with him. And the thing with second-round quarterbacks is...
They can be good. Second round can be a good place for any player.
And a second-round quarterback is usually going to be drafted in the first round. That's just the reality.
It's a reality.
How high are we willing to go with this?
Yeah.
especially if you have a guy like Jalen Hurts, who is, I think, only maybe a step below those two guys, who will probably be available either late first round or early second round.
Mm-hmm.
So if we're at pick 5, the Dolphins, say the Giants took a lineman, who do you take? Do you wait? Do you trade back? What's the play?
I think that you can just take a really great player there. I mean, if there's a team that's like the Raiders that's willing to trade you 2 first-round picks, I think you can trade with them like that year. I don't want to keep waiting on getting another first-round pick for 2021. I feel like the Dolphins, you really got to kind of start building your team and getting them to play together and getting some professionals in there.
Yeah.
But
taking a guy who's not going to play is maybe not the best idea if you're the Dolphins.
Yeah, like at some point you really like have to assemble a team, at some point. And I think if someone like Simmons is there, Okuda's gone in this situation, right? Like the Lions take him, or
I guess the Giants would probably have taken Okuda at 4.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd say the Giants probably take Okuda at 4.
Yeah, they're like there's not going to be an Isaiah Simmons next year.
You also have your picking of the linemen.
Yeah, you can pick one. My favorite lineman is Mekhi Becton. I think Mekhi Becton, before the combine, I was like, this dude is just massive and no one is getting around him. Even like when they're playing against Notre Dame and like really great programs, no one's getting by him. So you can take Mekhi Becton.
Dolphins graded out with the worst offensive line in the NFL last year.
That would help. I think he would help very much.
Do you think you take a quarterback later, or do you hold out this year?
Well, yeah, I think if you really need a quarterback, I think you take one later.
Okay.
Which would feel like a massive loss because you're thinking Tua all the way for the Dolphins, right?
Yeah, but if Washington decides to take Tua, you're out. You're not getting him.
Yeah,
there's nothing you can do about it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, pick 6, the Chargers. Should they trade back? Should they take their quarterback? If they do, which one? And if you're trading back, who are you trading back with?
Yeah.
I think the Chargers need to take one of these two guys.
Love or Herbert?
Yeah, and I think they should take Jordan Love. And I don't know who you could trade back with where you still feel confident that you'll get your guy. So I would, honestly, this would have blown my mind 2 weeks ago for me to say this. I would take Jordan Love at 6 if I'm the Chargers.
Jeez.
Here's my reasoning.
Jeez,
you are in a division with Patrick Mahomes.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot play conservative. He will beat you to death year after year if you are not trying to be on his level. Jordan Love gives you the best chance of having a guy who can keep you in games against Patrick Mahomes. It might not work out, but if you do nothing, you're dead.
Chargers are not. Yeah, Chiefs are a team that, to be fair, is like as good as it's gonna get. They're like as tough as competition's gonna get in the NFL. That offense, just give up on guarding them because it's just unguardable. No one in the whole NFL can guard them. Like just give up on stopping the Chiefs' offense. Build your own offense. Score more points than them. Like trust that the Chiefs at one point can mess up, and you will just consistently score points. So Herbert, you cannot count on doing that. Love is a better chance of you as like a developing quarterback who has a low floor. You're saying Jordan Love is the guy who's better?
I'm saying Jordan Love is the guy who gives you the best chance to go up against Patrick Mahomes.
I once again think the Chargers are a really good situation. I mean, not like developing wise, but talent wise. The offense, Mike Williams, Keenan Allen, Russell Okung, good running backs,
great receiving core.
Yeah.
Let me check where that line fell. I feel like it wasn't great.
It sounded like don't take Justin Herbert. He has too much to learn, and you're in a win now situation.
Chargers 29th ranked offensive line.
They could use some help as well. So I think, like, honestly, ideally, if you're the Chargers, I would want Teddy Bridgewater. Like, ideally, like, I want to draft a player, who like an offensive lineman, and I don't want to have to draft a guy who I need to develop as a quarterback.
So apparently the Bucs are really going after Teddy Bridgewater. Are you willing to go into a bidding war to get Teddy Bridgewater?
Bidding war to get Teddy Bridgewater. I forget how much money they have. Also, we want to know what the salary cap is. Yes, I am.
All right, so you're on the side of they should take a lineman and sign Teddy Bridgewater.
I mean, like, unless they want to take a quarterback like Jordan Love and sign a lineman. It's that offensive line needs to improve. You know?
Is there a lineman you can draft?
Draft? I mean, yeah, but
Or
like, sign.
a lineman you can sign, sorry.
Best one is probably Brandon Scherf.
He's being tagged.
Conklin. Yeah, Jack Conklin, who is, in his rookie deal, he is great.
Yeah, I guess you give him that Rivers money. But...
Yeah. He's young. He's really good. He might also stay on the Titans, but
yeah, I don't see why he would leave the Titans for the Chargers. That doesn't really make. See, the Chargers are a terrible free agent destination. That's the problem.
I mean, like LA, you know. I mean, like, why exactly? Why?
You have no fans. You play in a soccer stadium.
But it's LA.
But this thing, you live in LA, but no one.
Football star in LA.
No one cares.
Counterbalance, yeah.
No one can. Being the starting
like Ramsey,
being the starting quarterback of the Chargers is like being the backup like wing on like the Los Angeles Kings. That is like at the level you are at. No one cares. No one likes you. No one is a fan of you. And
okay, would you rather go to like Buffalo or Los Angeles? Just location alone.
Location, like ignoring the Chargers thing.
Let's say Chargers and Bills are equal in talent and potential as a player.
I mean, I'd rather just live in Los Angeles, but like this is the thing. Like NFL players only have to live in these cities for like half the year. The other half of the year they can live wherever the fuck they want. So it's really not that big of a deal where you're playing.
Okay. Anyway, I know we're going on a tangent. Talk about the Chargers whether or not they take a quarterback. I am still not like. I still don't want to go out there and say I like Jordan Love more than I like Justin Herbert. I don't really like either of them enough to take them in the top 10. Again, because if I'm playing the Andrew Luck game, you're so much more sure about other quarterbacks, you know, like, so there are some serious risks with taking them. So maybe I would trade back for the Chargers.
Okay. You would trade back. I would take Jordan Love. I don't agree with you that I think the Chargers are still going to be good. I think they're on the downslope. And I think they are better off just preparing for the future.
I mean, yeah, like, you do have, like, some really good young players. I mean, not, like, there's no one there, because Phil Rivers is gone now, there's no one there who's, like, so old. You're just waiting for them to, like, just slump over, you know? Like, Keenan Allen's not that old. Like, Casey Hayward's not that old. You know? Like, Elvin Ingram's pretty much in his prime. Bosa's pretty young.
And yet, they fully collapsed last year. Spectacularly.
I mean, like, remember the Patriots game in the playoffs? Like, the 2019 playoffs? Like, where that's like, you know, underdog story Chargers, and they just got fucking walloped.
Yeah.
After that game, I pretty much thought maybe you just need an entire roster overhaul.
No, you need to not be the Chargers anymore. You need to changing cities didn't work. You have to change names, change owners,
change everything.
Change everything.
Maybe you could go to St. Louis, but
no, go
to St. Louis, change your name.
San Antonio.
Hey, no, St. Louis. We just a reserve team.
Yeah, you got a team. You got the XFL Battlehawks.
Oh yeah, with the XFL podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
How'd you like that Battlehawks game this weekend? So?
Did they lose or win?
I don't know. I was watching Jordan Love highlights. What do you want from me?
I'd rather watch Utah State than the XFL.
Honestly, I had much more fun doing that.
I don't blame you. But okay. So honestly, again, like, I want to go this route because we went this route last week when I was talking about the Bengals. I was like, yeah, but still the whole organization is just so terrible. It's not going to fix the problems. The Chargers, yeah. It's just so pathetic, everything that happened in 2019. The playoffs, the whole regular season, all of it was just so pathetic. It makes me think, just replace everyone. So, would you start that process if you were them?
Yeah, I would have done that years ago.
Start them and just, like, get rid of everyone, trade away, get some draft picks.
I mean, I would...
Not Derwin James, though. Derwin James.
No, I wouldn't, like, burn the roster. I would just I would like be in the idea of like we are retooling. We are not going for it this year. We are keeping our good players. We are trying to win going forward. We are trying to win in a post Mahone contract AFC West. This year, Mahomes still on his rookie deal. Just punt. Just punt on that season. Don't bother.
Huh. Okay.
Like, you can draft Jordan Love. You don't have to play Jordan Love. You can sit Jordan Love for the year. It doesn't matter.
Well, then why not just take Justin Herbert?
Because I think Jordan Love's better than Justin Herbert.
Herbert has a high ceiling, though.
I disagree
He
with
really
that
does.
entirely.
He really does. No.
How?
What?
All right, in what way is he a higher ceiling than Jordan Love?
He's bigger. He is faster. He can throw.
Not as far or as hard.
I mean, not like who cares about how hard you throw? I mean, it's like
Jordan Love is
you can throw
better.
accurately. You can throw pretty far.
Jordan Love has better arm talent than Justin Herbert.
He can get better, and he can throw well enough. It's not like hey, he just needs like super arm talent. I mean, he has more potential to do more than offense. Okay. If you're looking at his high ceiling.
So all you have is Justin Herbert is 6'6" and fast.
He's a tough runner. He is a good dual threat quarterback. But you need to develop the dual threat, the other part, which is why if you're seeing for a whole year, why not just sit him?
Let's check. This guy's 40 times.
Okay. Jordan Love is like the king of the combine, which pissed me off because I'm like, there's no way he could be that great of an athlete. Plus, he's also not a runner, so.
Yeah, but I don't care as much if a guy is getting yards with their legs as much as I am about them creating time to throw with their legs. I think that is substantially more important and more in line with where the NFL is going.
Yeah, no, like, he does have, like, Love has a high ceiling, but in the same way Josh Allen had a high ceiling coming out of college.
Justin Herbert, 4.68 40 time. Jordan Love, 4.74 40 time.
Pretty much the same.
Yeah, it's negligible.
Yeah, but Justin Herbert is a good runner. That is like, there's no doubt he's a good runner.
He's a more powerful runner. Yes, I'll agree with that.
Yeah. So I mean, if like you're playing the whole we're gonna wait game and like develop like a team for like 2022, 2021 season, then yeah, like why not? But like again, I'm not super high on either of them. I don't think either of them are like going to be the next Mahomes. I mean, like they both have good potential, but I'm not saying that like you are like as high as Tua, where you're like this guy's gonna change our franchise, and you just kind of can see it happening.
There is a significant drop between Tua and everybody else.
Yeah.
Which is why Tua going second changes everything so drastically.
Mm-hmm.
Like in my system, so between top 10 and second round, there are two other entire categories worth of players in between those two things.
Yeah. Because I have like projected first round picks, and there are like less than 32 of them because I'm just guys who I'm pretty sure are going in the first round, and I order them. Justin Herbert is the last guy on that list because I'm just so not into him at all. I came in here being prepared to just tell you that Justin Herbert is terrible. I really came in to do that.
And yet,
now we're gonna talk. Yeah, but also I came in prepared to say Jordan Love is amongst my guys who I think is a second round player, right near Jalen Hurts and the amount of talent that he has. So I'm not like super high on any of them. I really think they're all just like so overhyped at this point. Like Tua's not overhyped. Tua's great. But if you were like a realistic like good team, I mean, how many guys like really succeed picking a quarterback mid first round? Only the Chiefs.
Well, so this was part of what I was looking into. It was how much the situation matters compared to the actual player. And give me a second just to pull this up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I broke this down into a few categories. And so you have first category is first round quarterbacks with a 5 or below situation. So situations out of 10, 4 and below is detrimental, 6 and above is positive. and like 8, 9, 10 is exceptional, and then Mahomes gets a 14.
Okay.
Because he breaks the scale.
broke the meter. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Second category was third rounded up, so a third round caliber player up to undrafted with a 5 or better situation.
Mm-hmm.
So just between those two, a third rounded up player in a positive situation ranks out higher than a first round player with a negative situation.
Wow.
All right. Since 2011, how many players with first round caliber quarterbacks drafted into a negative situation have been at least a solid starting NFL quarterback? So think like a Ryan Tannehill level.
Okay. I'm going to guess 5.
One.
Is it Tannehill?
It is not.
Who is it?
It is Andrew Luck.
Oh, okay.
He is the only one.
Guy who is... I mean, he's like ultra first round quarterback. He's like the gold standard.
Yes, he is. Remember our unfuckable category?
Our unfuckable category?
Yes, which is him and Joe Burrow.
It's only that.
Yes.
Yeah.
This kind of proves that.
This is like the best that there is. And he goes through situations terrible.
So yes.
Yeah.
So any quarterback in a terrible situation will fail.
Oh yeah.
Outside of the 0.01% best guys.
Mm-hmm.
So if you are the Bengals, which is just...
It's as low as it can get. It really is.
It's not as low. It's pretty low. I'd put it like a 3 out of 10.
Will they ever win a Super Bowl?
It's not the 0-16 Brown. There's difference. It's not
okay,
like
the Browns are the outlier.
No, it's not like or the Cardinals a couple of years ago. It's not that you will never win a Super Bowl. It's that you have no chance to succeed or develop whatsoever.
Exactly.
Terrible coaching, no offensive line, no weapons, just
No
get trounced, forced in too early, all these things.
Well, it's also just like no one's ever held accountable. Like if people fuck up, they're gonna stay there anyway. Like no one cares. That's the whole thing of the Bengals, that they didn't care about Bonte's perfect fucking up. They let Marvin Lewis stay there for 20 years. No one's ever held accountable there because no one cares.
All right. Next category: first round quarterbacks with a +5 situation. Okay. So, unsurprisingly, this was the highest rating category. So
repeat it again.
First round quarterbacks.
Yes.
In 5 or better situations.
Okay.
So with a either neutral or positive situation, these guys grade out higher than any other category I checked.
As you might expect.
Yes, as you would hope. Good quarterbacks to good teams are good quarterbacks.
Well, yeah.
Though the average is only a B- to B, and a B being the Ryan Tannehill average quarterback sign. So you are still looking at, on average, just a solid starting quarterback with the best quarterbacks in the best situations. And that was that's the highest
I
you
didn't
can find.
think about that, huh?
Yeah.
Like Ryan Tannehill level. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
In the complete ideal situation, that is the average.
That's the average.
Is Ryan Tannehill.
Could we also... Okay, we'll talk about this afterwards. Okay. Keep going.
All right. First or second round quarterbacks in a +5 situation is slightly lower. That lower is a C+ to a B-.
Not that much lower. Pretty good.
Well, that kind of shows that the only drop there is that adding in the second round quarterbacks. And that dropped only about 1 rank. Which, yeah, evens out. So the second rounders have maybe like a quarter less likelihood to succeed, but they cost a lot less capital.
Oh yeah.
Except most of them also still go in the first round.
Yeah, it depends. I mean, this isn't like the highest this isn't the biggest data set ever, but it's still substantial.
It's been about 9 years worth.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and last category is anyone with a 7 or higher situation. Mm-hmm. So the best situations, regardless of what round they're drafted in. And I want to clarify that playing time and ability to get on the field qualifies into your situation. So, like, say you're an undrafted free agent for the Patriots. You do not get a 9 out of 10 situation because you were never going to play and had no chance to actually be on the field. So this came out to an 8 point. So there's also a number component of this. It's also a B. It's an 8.35, right below the first round 5 up. So any quarterback drafted into a good situation is pretty much as likely to succeed as a first round quarterback into a solid to good situation.
Mm-hmm.
So the correlation I found was the situation is almost substantially more important than the player.
Oh, yeah.
A quarterback on a good team will be a good quarterback more than likely.
Mm-hmm. It's very unlikely you're going to have an Andrew Luck where the guy's just going to get better and develop with a shit team around him.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's this different way to... So like what I proposed was we have our pre-draft ratings.
Yes.
But we should also give each team a rating.
Each team a rating? Oh, okay.
Yes. And are they a good, bad, or detrimental situation?
For quarterbacks? Or
yes, for quarterbacks. Okay. And then when a guy goes there, we can reevaluate, do we still believe this is going to work?
Mm-hmm.
So if Jordan Love goes to the Bengals, I'm out. I'm out. It's not happening. It's not working.
Mm-hmm.
So it's almost like a...
And you're talking the situation is substantially better, or like substantially more important, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So what team a quarterback is going to is arguably more important than who the quarterback actually is.
I wouldn't even say arguably. I'd say it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, can I also point out that this absolutely proves that quarterbacks are just not as important individually as we think they are, and that the stat of wins should not even be a thing with quarterbacks at all. You know, that's like the dumbest thing I've ever heard in sports. Can I point that out right now? This proves it.
Well, no, I don't know that necessarily proves that. I think it's not that quarterbacks. It's not that they win more.
They don't win.
It's that
the situation.
Being on a good team is more important to developing a quarterback than being a good quarterback coming into the league is.
Mm-hmm.
So being on a good team makes you a better quarterback, which makes you more valuable to wins.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're so Russell Wilson came into a great situation and developed greatly. Then once he was great, was in a terrible situation and still led his team to wins because he was now so good that he made up for it.
And they're now good again.
Yes. Yeah. Well, that line is still bad. It will probably never be good.
He can pretty much
make all his own time.
He can innovate enough to negate that. Yeah, I agree.
All right. So, how you want to grade the first
three teams,
or the first 5 quarterback needy teams?
Okay.
So Bengals said what, like a 3
out of 10?
Yes.
I would. Yeah, I mean, like
30th ranked offensive line, inexperienced head coach.
If we're talking like one is like the Browns like 3 years ago.
0 is the Browns 3 years ago.
Okay. Okay.
I've only ever given 2 players a 0 situation. It was Josh Rosen and Deshaun Kaiser. They're the 2. They got 0s per situation.
Oh yeah, I remember that text.
Yeah.
Like, oh wow, 0s. Okay.
Yeah, they get 0s. Mahomes gets a 14. Those are the 2. These are the outlier situations. Yeah, Mahomes gets a 14.
Jesus. Okay.
Not an 11. 14.
14. I would say 2 for the Bengals.
2, yeah.
Not only do I have no confidence at all to ever win anything significant, but like I have no confidence to make the playoffs anytime soon.
All right, they have AJ Green.
For now.
They're tagging him.
We know that?
Yes, they said so.
When?
A couple days ago.
No, they did not.
Yeah, they did.
Okay, I'll take it. But yeah,
so they're tagging Green. Got like Giovanni Bernard.
Joe Mixon.
He's
the best player in the Bengals.
He's a terrible person, but he's a good player.
Yes.
No line. Inability to sign free agents. No head coach.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd say a 2.
It's a 2.
Yeah.
I just have no confidence the team will ever get anywhere with because they're the Bengals. When's the last time you ever thought they were going to be good? Not in my lifetime, ever.
All right, Redskins. Actually, wait, before we do that.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you think Joe Burrow going to the Bengals?
He's entering a very bad situation.
How do you feel? Do you think he will still work out?
I feel like it's going to be similar to Andrew Luck.
If you had to bet money that he would still be a Pro Bowl level quarterback, would you do it?
Yes. I would bet money he's going to be a Pro Bowl level quarterback. I would not bet that he will look like a Pro Bowl level quarterback because of his team.
I think he will be the luck exception. There's been one. I think he'll be the second. I think he is the outlier. I think he is that good.
He's like Andrew Luck. If Andrew Luck were not like a nice guy and you were a badass instead. The versatile nice guy, but like he's a badass. That's what he is.
All right, Redskins. I'm gonna say a 6.
I'm being a lot more critical. I'm giving it a 3. And mine, like, come on, like, even when they build good teams, they still fuck it up and they immediately screw up.
All they have to do is be a competent offensive football team for 2 years, and Tua will be fine.
They won't.
The line is fine. They're not gonna let Sharif walk. Right. Rivera, he can keep them together. That's the thing. If it wasn't for Snyder, I'd say this is like a 7 or an 8.
I know. I would like they have the makings of a great team. I will not deny it. They definitely do.
Maybe it's a 5. I'm gonna say 6. I'm sticking with 6.
If these exact players happened like 15 years ago, I would agree with you.
Okay.
Because I have so much reason not to.
Here's my problem with your argument: is Dan Snyder never fires anyone, so Tua will have consistency with Ron Rivera.
I mean, like,
how long was Jay Gruden there? I mean, Bruce Allen was there for a decade. Jay Gruden got at least 5 years.
Now, Jay Gruden, we thought was a good coach.
Yeah, he's fine.
Yeah.
So Rivera, there's no threat of a massive overhaul to the coaching staff. Tua will have consistency with his coaching staff, which is with his offensive talent. I think he has. They just have to not completely implode, and it will be fine.
If you were going to do a most likely NFL team to completely implode, how high would they rank? Pretty high, right?
That's the thing. They're always they're always so middle of the road. Like, I remember at some point last year, they were like exactly 500 over the last decade. And like, that's the thing. Like, they always have talent. They always undersucceed. But I think that's fine. Like, you cover the threshold to not fuck up Tua. And I think that's all that matters. Is you just need to pass that Mendoza line into Tua is not ruined and can be a good quarterback.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna keep with the 6.
I'm gonna stick with. Okay, I'll move up to 4.
All right.
I'll move up to 4. They have not given me a reason to believe in them, and I'm gonna go with whatever reason to believe. So 4.
All right, the Lions.
For a quarterback?
Yeah.
Around the same or lower.
I'm gonna say 4.
Because we at least know that like Washington is interested in building an offense. We don't even know that with Detroit.
Yeah. They have a fairly good roster, and their offensive line was 11th in the league last year by PFF. But I think the entire coaching staff is going to be fired after whoever they draft rookie year. So it's Tua. And
I have no confidence in building developed quarterbacks.
And then they need to build an entire new offense in the second year.
Yep, that's true.
Actually, no, I'm going to drop this to a 3. This is bad.
This is bad.
Yeah.
You have Hawkinson, you have Marvin Jones, Kerryon Johnson,
Frank Ragnow, yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
You saw what that team was with David Blow, right? Just in town. Oh, no, they have Galladay. I forgot. Yeah. Galladay's great. He's good.
That's it. Like, the roster's fine. It's that there's not going to be consistency. And
again, they're one of those teams that you just
don't believe in.
For 70 years, they have been owned by the Fords, right? For ever. And they have literally one playoff win in 70 years, right?
All right. If Tua went to the Lions, do you think it would work out?
If Tua went there?
Yeah.
No.
I agree.
Tua would be bad.
Yeah.
If Burrow went there, completely different story.
It'd be fine, yes.
Yeah, it'd be great.
That's going to be the Burrow. We stand by Burrow as the exception. Tua is more of the normal quarterback who needs the right situation, and I don't think the Lions fit that.
And Tua specifically would not like Detroit. Yeah, I specifically don't think Detroit hit him with it. Chargers will be better for Tua.
Right. Dolphins.
That's sort of hard to determine.
2.
Yeah, like
They have no line. They destroyed Rosen last year. Fitzpatrick only survived because he is like more beast than man.
what is Fitzpatrick at this point?
I don't know.
This is a team that
He's like an ox that went to Harvard and plays football.
I went to Harvard, but I'm wearing silly clothes. Yeah, yeah. This team is true. All the things you said are true. And they beat the Patriots and changed the entire postseason.
See, that's the one thing. Brian Flores is a great coach. I love him.
I did not say that last year, but I yes.
No, towards the end of the season, I was saying Brian Flores should have won Coach of the Year. I entirely stand by that. That roster was unapologetically terrible. It might have been the worst roster we've ever seen in the history of the NFL, and he got 5 wins out of those fighters.
Yeah,
like
they did not. It was not like their schedule was the hardest schedule. They faced the Jets twice.
it doesn't matter. Like,
yeah.
He made that defense palatable. That offensive line was unforgivably bad. And he could make it work.
I am still baffled as to how the fuck that happened with the Patriots. Because the Patriots won is win that game. They tried to win that game. It was important to win, and they lost. That's baffling to me still.
So I think the Dolphins are a good situation for a lot of young players, not for a quarterback.
Not a quarterback.
I'm going to say 2. I think it's a really bad situation. Unless you get to sit.
Yeah,
if they draft them and sit them, that's different. But if they draft them and they're starting them, that's a terrible idea.
Keith Fitzpatrick, Tua is the guy you're taking. If you take Herbert or Love, like one of those quarterbacks who is less than first round, like maybe second round guys.
No line.
Terrible. Yeah. Absolutely terrible.
Probably a disaster. Yeah.
I mean, even like Rosen got to sit behind and was still, it didn't work out for him, right?
Well, he didn't get a full. That's the thing. Like, if they're sitting for a year, you're assuming they're going to fix that line within the next year and a half before they start them.
I assume so.
Yeah,
I'm
saying 2. It's bad. It's really bad.
I'll say 3. All right. I'll say it's still bad. I have less confidence than Washington, which is saying something. But they're with Tua. I have the highest. Like, Tua's the right guy for them. If I were them, Tua would be the only guy in my mind. No one else. Tua's
fair. All right, and last, the Chargers.
Chargers for okay.
Say a 6.
I would actually agree with that. I am surprised you said that. You really were not high on the Chargers in this situation before.
I mean, they have talent.
They do have talent. Yeah.
Like, there's the difference between, like, I think they can get back to the playoffs, and I think that they're a solid football team.
They are a solid football team.
Competent football team that can...
They are stuck in the AFC West.
Their line is bad.
Their line?
Yeah. Actually, I'm dropped to a 5. The line is bad.
The line is bad. Even so, it's not like... it's bad. But I still think, like... I could see Jordan Love succeeding there. I could see that happening. I would not see Tua succeeding there. I think he would get hit. I think it would just trickle down from there.
Yeah.
But again, they do have pretty serious talent.
They got the weapons.
Oh yeah, I could easily see just like
good coaching staff.
Just throw one nice ball to Mike Williams and you have a touchdown. The offense will score points if they get a good quarterback. Yeah. So I'll say 6.
All right. Last one. Let's say the Colts at 13.
Colts are less talented than Chargers on offense. I would say.
But their line is infinitely better.
Absolutely, infinitely better.
I'm saying 8.
Saying 8?
Yeah.
And Frank Reich, I miss you so much.
Yeah.
On the Eagles.
Actually, no, I'll just go to a 9. Great quarterback coach. Great. One of the top 5 best offensive lines in the entire league. A quadrillion dollars in cap space and a fuck ton of draft picks. They will also...
And Frank Reich can build a team.
And if you're not ready, you can sit behind Brissett. Mm-hmm. There's really no downsides if you're going to the Colts.
Yeah, I'll say... Yeah, they were a great team. This year just kind of fucked.
It petered out a bit. Yeah.
Yeah, they just they beat the Chiefs and with good football.
They stayed alive, yeah. They could have made the playoffs.
Yeah, so this year was just kind of held back for them, but they're a great team. They really are a great team. Great coach, guys who know what they're doing, winning situation. I'll say 8.
All right. Yeah. All right, you want to do some free agent quarterbacks?
Sure, yes.
All right, let's do this quick. Have I told you where I think Tom Brady is going?
Maybe, but I don't remember. Where
All
are you
right.
going?
I stand by. Tom Brady will sign with the Dallas Cowboys
Fuck! Fuck! Really?
to replace Dak Prescott.
Hey, Rosie. Oh yeah, okay. You did tell me this, I think, over text.
Logic being that I don't think Jerry wants to pay the back end of Dak's contract, and I wouldn't either.
But they're gonna. I thought they were tagging him.
No, I don't believe so.
It's like believe they will use the exclusive tag. I don't even know what that is, but it's like a high price tag, so they still get money.
So here's the idea: is you sign Brady, you either sign Prescott to a 5-year, $200 million contract for $40 million a year, which Dak Prescott is the ultimate quarterback who is only as good as the players around him.
I agree with you.
And if you sign him to all that money, you can't put those players around him, and you're screwed. Like, we forget literally last season, before they traded for Amari Cooper, he was terrible. He was genuinely bad. Even with an offensive line, even with Ezekiel Elliott. So it's kind of like a Jenga tower. Take out one thing and you're done. So you can sign Brady for less money. You can sell the fan base on letting Dak go because you got Tom Brady. For Tom Brady, he could be the guy who brought a title back to America's team. The guy who fixed the Dallas Cowboys. What else could he do to his legacy besides that would make any impact? It'd be the ultimate show of I am the greatest player who has ever lived.
And I think it would be more about Jerry Jones than Tom Brady in my own mind.
I think it makes sense for both sides.
I hate that you validated that, but it is true that it would be like for Tom Brady, the way he thinks, his legacy.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense.
The only thing could be like better is him going to the Niners. And him because that's the team he grew up with. You know, like him going to the team he grew up with.
I don't think he can get there, and I don't think it makes sense. It doesn't make sense for the 49ers. It's going to be you have to get rid of Garoppolo. I don't know who's really going to take him. And then you have to sign Brady. Like, it's too much. There's too many moving parts there. I don't see it happening. Like, the Cowboys, it's really simple because Dak's not under contract. Just have to not sign him. Sign Brady. Sign him to a 2-year deal. And then you have cap flexibility in three years from now instead of being stuck with Dak for the next 6 onward.
I don't know. I mean, yeah. Dak in this situation they have works really well. And let's say they can't pay guys like Cooper forever. Do you trust Jerry Jones to keep building around him and getting more players? And
Jerry Jones is very good at drafting.
He is. That's for what it's worth. He sucks at a lot of other things, but he has an eye for talent. He really does.
You are spending so much money on Dak and Zeke, who would neither of which deserve it.
Absolutely.
You are building the foundation of your team around those two, which I'm sorry is not good enough, and will eventually decay. And I don't think it'll work. I think Jerry knows that because he hasn't signed him to it. There was a report. He hasn't talked to Dak about a contract extension since September. That is insane. He's a free agent now. This is not like no, he's a free agent now.
Yeah. It's not like Mahomes, where it's he's still on his deal, you can just extend him.
The fact that everyone still treats this like, oh, he's definitely going back, I think is ridiculous.
I mean, when I think of the Cowboys, and I imagine what they do, I think he has a better chance of staying than Amari Cooper.
Yes.
That's why I was like, let's tag Cooper and sign Dak to some deal now.
They can't afford that.
That's the problem. Yeah, that's the problem. They can't. They just spend too much money with other players.
Yeah, their roster is unbelievable. How expensive it is.
Oh yeah, the offensive line, especially. Yeah, there's just so much money on that offensive line. We know they're losing Byron Jones,
DeMarcus Lawrence. It's just there's too many guys. They've spent their money, and they've been able to do that because Dak was getting paid nothing. If you're paying Dak top end money, you can't. It breaks the foundation of the team.
And this year better be a good draft for you because
And your best year to win is this year, and I don't think you're good enough to win this year. So why does it matter? Why would you even bother with this?
Also, they signed Drew Bledsoe after Bledsoe was just ousted after Bledsoe was ousted from.
Okay, that was 20 years ago.
Yeah, but it would be interesting. Tom Brady went back to that place. We're talking about Brady's legacy and stuff. Yeah. Not relevant to Dak, but relevant to Brady. I just hope that no matter what, they fuck up, because I hate them so much more than anything else in the NFL.
I know people as a Giants fan who despise both the Dallas Cowboys and Tom Brady, and them failing together would be their greatest joy.
I told you, like,
in the entire
they
world.
could succeed, but if they fail,
it'd be a spectacular failure.
Absolutely,
yeah,
the greatest fail in our lifetime.
Except these are all people who do not believe they're capable of failure.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah.
All right, let's finish off with this. Assuming Brady signs with the Cowboys, lightning round. Where did the rest of the quarterbacks sign?
Phil Rivers. Okay, so he goes to the Colts and is a mentor
to whoever they draft.
Yes.
And they trade Brissett probably.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Or Brissett just they release him.
All right, Bridgewater.
Bucks. He's going to Bucks.
All right, Taysom Hill.
He's staying with the Saints. I think he fucked himself. Yeah.
And Jameis Winston.
That's tough. What about Tannehill? We know Tannehill's staying with...
I think Tannehill's staying.
Okay. So he's not going to Titans. I have no idea. Who else needs a quarterback? Pittsburgh? I think Pittsburgh is...
That could make... I can't imagine a team that would want Jameis Winston.
Yeah, that's true.
He is a fucking disaster. Both like on and off the field. He's a fucking disaster.
I never would have drafted him. Never, yeah. Mario was the dude to draft that year.
So like, if I'm talking like strategically, no one. Like I would just, no matter what team I would not sign Jameis Winston. But like where I think he might end up, like Chicago maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
oh, could you imagine?
Someone will take a flyer on him.
So someone like on Pat McAfee show, like they once did like a thing like, what if Mario went to the Bears? I was like, well, it's not much better than Mitch Trubisky, right?
Yeah,
like that's the thing with
like,
Jameis Winston going there. You know, like not much better than Mitch if you're putting Winston in Chicago.
Who was the guy they brought in to challenge Blake Bortles for the job? It was Cody Kessler. It's like when they brought in Cody Kessler to compete with Blake Bortles. Just like, wow, you did
it. Oh, Blake. Oh.
All right, last one.
Yeah,
Nick Foles.
Oh, he's gonna get traded, isn't he?
Yep. They announced, I think today, they plan on trading him.
I don't think that any team's gonna want that contract. So
Colts
could work. Patriots. Patriots.
Just for the Wolves.
I know.
They wouldn't take that money.
Oh, they wouldn't. My dad and I once had this really funny conversation of like, what if Nick Foles and his last act in the NFL was going to the Patriots and breaking every single season record and making you question once and for all, was it Brady or was it Belichick the whole time? Last act.
I kind of want Foles to do one last random insane thing just for like 20 years from now when like kids are like looking at like past the NFL, they're just like, who the fuck was Nick Foles?
Like, that's the thing that's we're all fascinated because he's in the Hall of Fame in 2 different like cases for Super Bowl and for that game, like the 7 touchdowns of that season. He's in the Hall of Fame. He's like all over Eagles history, but he has done nothing in the Raiders. He took that part off. He never cared. Yeah, I'll be back off for most of the regular season for my career. That's a fascinating thing with Nick Foles. He's one of the most fascinating players ever. Tons of accomplishments. Did not do the work that you thought would be necessary to get there. Because there are times like in the 2013 season where he like these numbers, he compares to Peyton Manning for some reason. He compares to Aaron Rodgers. And then that went away. Then the 2018 postseason, you know, his numbers are starting to look like Aaron Rodgers again for some reason. What the fuck? And like here he is. He's right next to Drew Brees and Aaron Rodgers. This is really weird. Like that's the thing with Nick Foles. Just for no reason, he just puts himself up there with these other guys who he shouldn't be up there with.
And on that note, thank you for listening. This has been the XFL One Piece podcast, missing XFL and One Piece for...
We're taking this podcast in many different directions, if you can't tell.
But not changing the name.
Oh, of course not. Of course not.
Never changing the name.
Never changing the name.
XFL, we'd like to thank you for inspiring us to start this podcast and then proving to us that we should not have done that.
It would be so much better than the AAF One Piece podcast. So thank you, XFL, for your
It's a much better
XFL.
Name. Thank you.
Thank you, XFL. We appreciate you.
All right, let's talk about One Piece. So, One Piece Chapter 1 review. Sam, you finished reading it literally several seconds ago.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts?
My thoughts? I really like this. This is good. So I told Charlie when I was reading, I'm like, this guy seems like one of those prototypical angsty, too energetic and like, reckless anime characters. Then I realized, wait a minute, all those guys are probably based on him. He's probably the first one.
In fairness, all those guys are based on Goku.
Goku. Yeah, I was gonna say Goku. Yeah, but this is pretty awesome. I was like, wait, what the fuck? This is the Gum Gum Fruit? Because the only thing I knew about One Piece was that this guy is named Monkey D. Luffy, and he stretches, and he's a pirate. That's all I knew. I found out why he stretches, and now why he wants to be a pirate so bad, and now he's gonna set off on his adventures. That's all things to know about One Piece. I'm gonna learn. These pirates have interesting designs. Yeah, I like. The bad guys are pretty bad. Shanks got his arm cut off. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, oh shit. And you kind of like already saw like the consequences of Luffy's being reckless. You know. Yeah, I feel like there's real drama. I feel like in South will be good. It's imaginative. I'm in.
So, for context, I have read all of One Piece, and Sam...
Fucking dweeb, okay.
Sam knows nothing about it. So, Sam, what do you think the story was, and what do you think the story will be going forward?
What do I think the story will be going forward?
Well, what happened in this chapter?
Show like Monkey D. Luffy's childhood, right? Do I call him Luffy or do I call him Monkey?
It's Luffy.
It showed Luffy's childhood. Like, incidents that happened when he was a kid, how he looked up to pirates, and then they left. And the chapter leaves with him setting sail in a little boat. He stretches, punches the big sea monster, and he's ready to set sail. He's like, I gotta go get a crew. We're gonna be king of pirates. I think he's setting off to get a crew. That's where I think it's leading. He's setting off to meet some people. That's what he wants to do. Am I wrong?
I'm not answering any of your questions.
What?
For the entire of this series, I'm not answering any of your questions.
Staring into the eyes. Like, I'm not fucking responding to
nothing.
You. That's where I think it's headed. So, that's why I would have, yeah. I answered your question. That's where I think it's going.
Alright, how do you like the characters?
They're great characters. I can already tell. Like, Shanks is a great, like, adult-like guy who sees himself in Luffy. Gives him his hat. That's great. Monkey Luffy's an interesting character. I like, what's her name? What's the bartender's name?
Oh, is it Nanami?
Something like that. She's cool. The mountain bandit dude, kind of a dick. Good thing he's supposed to be a dick. he walks right in and it's like, yeah, motherfucker, I got money on my head. Ooh. Cool end.
So I listened to you read this. You audibly gasped about 3 times. I'm curious what those 3 moments were.
So one of them was when I saw the arm. I was like, oh, shit.
When Shanks gets his arm bitten off. Yeah.
Fuck. He lost his arm. Other time, what else? Oh yeah, the sea monster comes out of nowhere. I was like, oh shit. Wow. Sea monster came out of nowhere. Also around that time, I was like, wait, did you just toss Luffy in the fucking water? And like, he's in the water. I was like, oh shit, he's gonna drown already? Like, how's he fucking out of this shit? Those are the 3 times, I think. I really liked how the mountain bandits go into the bar, like, totally like own like the pirates and their crew, and like the pirates are like laughing. It just shows them like that their adult level of danger, that they in their mind they avoid something, and Luffy's like, you guys gotta be like fighting. He's like thinking about the action. He's thinking about, you know, that's what it means for him to be a pirate. They're like, yeah, no, that's not what it means to be pirates. You know, and there's like a very like mature sense of what they do to it. I love that. That's also great.
Yeah. So next time we'll hope to have more than 1 chapter to talk about. Maybe cover slightly more ground, or else we will literally never finish this.
Does One Piece happen to be a long series? No way it can be.
You know, it's like moderately long.
Okay, actually, here's our question: is it greater than or less than Game of Thrones? Length. Not literal pages, but like
time it'd take you to read.
yes,
It's way longer.
way longer than Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Okay. Game of Thrones is intimidating. It's way longer than Game of Thrones. Okay.
I mean,
I'm ready.
I read Game of Thrones in like a summer.
You read fast, and that's one summer. It took you a summer. It took me like a good 10 minutes to read this chapter of 50 pages.
Yeah, average chapter is like 18 to 20 pages. That one's longer because it's the first chapter.
Yeah.
But
oh wow, really? Wow. That'd be cool. Yeah, this is good.
So you're about it.
I'm about this. I think it just might be going somewhere interesting. Now, I certainly hope that I can't wait to meet Gold Richards like really, really soon.
I can't tell if you did that on purpose or not.
I know I'm not going to meet him forever. So, I know, yeah. Okay.
Gold Rogers.
Rogers.
Yes.
Well, yeah, I'm probably not going to meat Richards. If he doesn't exist.
You're never going to meet Richards. Don't worry about that.
Probably not.
And Gold Rogers is dead, so cut out a look at that one, Joe.
Flashback scene.
Yeah.
I'm certain there will be a flashback scene since there was one in chapter 1. So
since the first scene is a flashback scene,
yeah,
that'll be indicative of what your average structure of a One Piece arc is like.
Oh, okay. Not rather not be like fucking Attack on Titan, where like the whole book is like a giant flashback, and you're like, okay, like every all like after the first season, flashback scenes.
All right, Sam, congratulations. You are 1% through the prologue of One Piece.
Oh, wow. Through the prologue.
You are 99 chapters away from finishing the prologue.
I never read a prologue before. Holy shit. I'm going to read a prologue. I'm going to do it.
For a really long time.
I finally finished with the prologue. What the fuck? Are you serious?
Yeah.
How could this prologue be that long? How did this happen?
Like, yeah, I'd argue the real plot doesn't start till chapter 100.
There is a running plot?
Yeah.
And it's like one central running plot?
Yeah, it's fun in One Piece.
It doesn't have to do with the actual One Piece?
No, well, the plot is getting to the One Piece. And...
Don't tell me.
Yeah, I don't want to...
You're about to tell... Okay.
Well, yeah, you'll... Fairly soon, they'll start talking about what the Grand Line is and why that matters. But...
Okay.
Yeah.
This is pretty good. I'm like... Because the pirate world is like full of like just... You can make anything up. Just make anything up you want. I mean, just make up a fruit that makes you into rubber. That's pretty cool. I'm in.
Alright, so next week, we will review up to whatever chapter Sam read up to.
Yeah. And hopefully the coronavirus...
continues. So yeah, One Piece this week was delayed due to coronavirus, which gave Sam an extra week to catch up on One Piece. Just pushes the deadline farther and farther away.
Thank goodness.
To finish the series before it ends.
Could you imagine if I like never get to read it because it destroys all my access to
Achiria Oda dies of coronavirus and we never see the end of One Piece.
That'd be horrible. Oh no. Well, I'll never know.
Alright, Sam, what is more likely? Achiria Oda dies of coronavirus, or you actually finish One Piece?
Okay, so do you want me to be honest or what I hope?
What? Honest.
It's more like he's gonna die of coronavirus. I don't do well with reading. It takes me a long time to get through things.
Which is more insane because it's a comic book.
It's a long comic book, to be honest. It's a long-ass comic book. It's a long comic book. A very long comic book. You could fill bookshelves with this shit. Yeah. And I'm a bad reader. And the coronavirus exists. Maybe there's a better chance of that. I hope not. I hope he does not die and I finish One Piece.
So you hope neither. That's the ideal.
I hope I finish One Piece. I just hope it doesn't take a long time.
Well,
if I could hope, I would finish it tomorrow.
I would assume that One Piece will last about 5 more years.
Mhm.
So you have about 5 years to
Plus
read
added
that.
on the added on additions of One Piece.
With the yes. So I could do some quick math.
Do the math.
Yeah.
We're doing the math. Okay.
All right. So let's say that about 42 chapters come out a year for the next 5 years. The extra 210 chapters. We currently have 967 chapters. So
God,
that's
you know these.
1,177 chapters. And if you have 5 years, then
5 years. Jesus Christ. That's 5 times 365.
so you only have to read less than 1 chapter a day for the next 5 years to catch up.
Okay. How much of what's the percentage of one chapter? Like
It's 64% of a chapter a day.
for 5 years.
Yes.
Oh my
For
God.
5 straight years.
Wow. Okay. Wow.
So if you read 10 chapters a day, you could be done in.
You gotta read 10 chapters a day.
Yeah.
That's a significant. Okay, that's like a morning read. That's like
Yeah, that's over a volume. It's about a volume a day.
wow. Okay. We can do this. It's fine. We can get it done, right?
Yeah, I did it. I did it in much
You're
less time.
better at reading than me.
Once again,
I can't rearrange.
it's a comic book. It's
A
not
very
it is
long
not-
comic book.
I can't comprehend how you can read a comic book slower than another person. Like,
You remember me reading Shakespeare?
yes, that was Shakespeare. This is One Piece.
I still remember that. That's a great story.
This is not Wuthering Heights.
What's Wuthering Heights?
It's a book.
I'm not gonna read that. Hell no.
All right, that's it. Next week,
we
more-
did the One Piece part of our podcast.
yeah, we did half of the thing in our title.
I don't even know why we did it. Oh yeah, it's part of our title.
All right, next week.
XFL.
More no.
Keep existing.
more NFL draft. More One Piece. We'll see you then.
Less XFL.
Even less XFL.